Hello and welcome to another edition of The Tactician. I'm Amy Duggan, joined by former Matilda Alicia Ferguson today as we take a look at Melbourne Victory's attacking prowess, especially off set pieces, ahead of what could help decide this weekend's grand final-ish. Let's start back in round 4 as Melbourne Victory took on the Central Coast Mariners. Now this one ended in a draw, but set pieces were super important.
Yeah, and it's going to be so important for them coming into a grand final. They're difficult to defend against for Melbourne Victory. This one, really nice position, got left footer into that far post, and you're trying to whip that ball in. What I really like about Melbourne Victory is how they've all got different runs. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players that are coming across, coming into that near post. Kayla Morrison, who's been so dangerous at these set pieces, doing a bit of WrestleMania at the back post and then another far post run. So the thing with set pieces is the delivery, the timing of the runs, and just being on the front foot and really wanting to get that ball in the back of the net.
As this progresses, though, we'll see a couple of the Melbourne players lose their defenders.
Yeah, and I think it's what we've seen consistently with Melbourne as well. They've got so many players in the box, but they're keeping the ball alive. I think Central Coast Mariners were a little bit guilty of just stopping. The ball's gone over their head. See here, I mean, Kayla Morrison has basically gotten away from her defender there, but it's not the first phase. It's in the second phase and the third phase where Melbourne Victory is still on the front foot, still wanting to win the ball, wanting to keep the ball alive and get that ball across goal and with a deserved finish.
And you see players free in the centre of the park here and also here at the back where they haven't trailed in. But what will happen here is the ball will come back across to the far post. Kayla Morrison just gets really high and pops it away.
I mean, again, it's great timing, great connection. Kayla Morrison is so dangerous in those positions and she just wanted it. She got the timing right, wanted to get in there. We've seen her do that on numerous occasions. And again, it's that variety as well. In grand finals, things are going to be pretty tight tactically. So what's going to be the additional thing that might make a difference?
Well, there's plenty of things they need to do, blocking the player, facing the right way, being first to the ball, but they also have corners to worry about each. Let's have a look at a couple of in-swingers here.
Again, super impressed by the delivery from the Victory players from corners and set pieces. We've seen this a few times. They really like to get a lot of players around the goalkeeper, have a lot of numbers in there, try and get that ball right into this area which is busy and try and force the keeper into a punch or potentially for any knockdowns there. But again, they've got, like, Kayla Morrison has already gotten goal side of Jade Pennock here. That's dangerous. I think Quilligan for the Mariners probably could have gone out and closed that ball down. You know, if that ball has bounced back out again, if the ball's gone over your head, you don't switch off. You're out to it and you need to close it down. And on that occasion, it was Alex Chidiak getting the little volley back in and then a little deflection from M. Gilnick.
Yeah, it was a lovely little touch from M. Gilnick, and probably on that case, Central Coast had done the first part of the job, but then gave up on the second. There's some other examples, though, here where they do crowd the box and they do, again, get some headers each.
Yeah, again, delivery is key here. Still all around the keeper, same team. You've got, again, WrestleMania. Amy, you know how difficult it is to defend that. And you do want that contact. But as an attacker, my momentum's still going forward. And you're having to come out and try and watch the ball and also watch the player. But the delivery is crucial.
The delivery is beautiful. This is Alex Chidiak knocking it into the centre. This one's gone far post instead of near post. And what happens here is the players just drift around the outside. The Mariners are watching the ball, so facing the wrong way, and it goes over their head, and then they're chasing to get there.
Yeah, and so Sarah Rowe, who was on bunge at the far post here, she had really good contact. As that ball came over, though, she thought, oh, I might be able to just nick in and get ahead of there. Wasn't able to do it. Bunge did really well, held her ground, and then was able to nod that ball into the back of the net.
Something we've seen time and time again is the physicality in the box from Victory, helping each other, creating space. It makes it really difficult to defend.
It's hard to defend corners. Whether you're man marking or zonal, it's difficult because as a player, no matter what side the corner's coming from, you've got a player in front of you that you need to look after, and then you've got to watch the ball as well. And that's where Adelaide came unstuck against the Victory.
They did. This is in the first leg of the semi-final. Another corner here as it comes in. Adelaide's set up very differently, though, to how we've seen Central Coast set up.
Yeah, it looks like they're a bit more zonal in this area in the 6-yard box. They're trying to get man marking a little bit further out. But you can see there's not as many Adelaide players around that goalkeeper. There's only the 2 Melbourne Victory players. Dylan Holmes here trying to look after, I believe it's Kayla Morrison again, just trying to See, not looking at the ball, I think before then, that's when you've got to still see the run, get tight to that Victory player, and still, while you're still having constantly scanning, that's what you should be doing rather than just focusing on one or the other.
The interesting one here too is the player that's sitting out the back and what happens as Kayla Morrison makes her run in, which we're going to see now. The ball gets delivered in. It's another beautiful delivery. Kayla Morrison makes the space by giving a little push off there
little
and
nudge.
leaves the space for her teammate to come in and bury the ball.
That's it. And again, Dylan Holmes is she's trying to focus on Kayla Morrison because she is dangerous. Kayla Morrison, with her strength, gave her a little nudge. She took 2 steps back, and then that gave the opportunity for Bunge to come in. I mean, Kayla Morrison was still trying to come back in a way to get that. But those 2 players have been really crucial. Delivery, but also the physicality and just the timing. The timing is also so crucial, and Bunge and Kayla Morrison have been great.
With 30% of goals in the women's game coming from set pieces, we're about to take a look at another corner in the same match against Adelaide as well. This one from the other side, Chidiac again delivering it in. Let's have a look at the positioning. It's a little bit different now to what it was in the first one. There's more man marking here, but I'm really interested in what's going on here, Ish.
Yep, 2 players on the goalkeeper, and we've got where the goal scorer is in this area here. But goalkeepers, protected species in that 6-yard box. But Melbourne Victory constantly try and pepper the goalkeeper and put them under pressure, get players around them to make it difficult for them to have to come out and try and punch. They do really crowd around that area. But again, Dylan Holmes, just there, she was so focused on Bunge and trying to just block her run, get some contact in there, that when she looked at the ball, it was at the wrong moment, wasn't it, Amy?
The key mistake here is you're trying to block your player. So, Ish, if you're in front of me as my attacker, I'm trying to hold you, I'm trying to see where you are. But if I look away at where the ball is, I can't see the player. If I do what Dylan Holmes did and look towards the player only, I don't know where the ball is. So on this occasion, Dylan was too worried about the player and not enough about the ball, and unfortunately she snuck in behind her.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, big question marks. Claudia Jenkins here was not a happy keeper. Not a happy keeper. If a pitcher tells a story, that is it. And I must admit, I think it was the wrong decision from the official to allow the goal. Look at those 2 players, Ella O'Grady and Daphalonia, basically hugging.
So if you've
Claudia
seen examples like this, Ish, and you're the Central Coast on the weekend, going into a grand final against this team, what's your advice?
My advice would be to constantly chat to the official, just to remind them if there is any set pieces, just to make sure that the official is keeping an eye on what's happening around our goalkeeper. Not suggesting anything, just a little reminder, what's happening. Make sure you keep an eye on that. This is what happens in set pieces in corners. There's wrestling, there's shirt pulling, there's a lot going on. Some officiating is maybe more conservative than others, but it's definitely something that we'll need to keep an eye on in this grand final.
Yeah, and Victory do, of course, have that attacking threat, the free kicks of Jancheski, the corners coming into beautiful positions, and the height of Claudia Bunge, Kayla Morrison and Emily Gilnick. What will the Central Coast do to deter this? On the weekend in the big one, the grand final between the Central Coast Mariners and Melbourne Victory, coming your way on 10 and Paramount Plus Sunday at 3:15.